Hi guys, so some of you may not know, but today is National Children's Grief Awareness Day, and today I want to talk about grief. Yes, grief, because there's a stigma out there saying that, it might be too awkward or, giving people a reason to be too vulnerable to share their story and talk about grief. But what a lot of people don't know is that there are tons of people out there who share a similar story. And I'm encouraging somebody else today to also share their story because I'm here today to share mine. So, a lot of you know that my mom died of cancer 5 years ago, but what you don't know is that she had cancer for the first time when I was about maybe like 3 or 4 years old. All me and Michael kind of remember is, this one summer we had to go to our cousin's house every single day. Mom and dad would drop us off down at our cousin's house. They would go down to Boston so my mom could get her treatment, and then they would pick us up and we would do it all over again the next day. And that's really all we remember. And we knew that, mom was sick, but, they had to go down to Boston to make sure that she was going to get better. And that's really like all we knew. After my mom died, my dad had mentioned that the doctor all those years ago said that the cancer would come back, but it would come back in a different form. It wouldn't, attack the same part of her body. But he said it would come back around 20 years later. And about 20 years later, it did come back. And I think what kind of sucked the most about this whole thing again was that we didn't have any time. This whole thing was going on for about a month. And then all of a sudden, a month later, she got admitted into the hospital. I think it was like a Tuesday, I remember. And then it was maybe like Thursday that week. The doctor said that there was nothing else that they could do. They had tried everything, nothing would work. Chemo surgeries would probably, do more damage, if that makes sense. And they wouldn't be able to help. So, me and Michael, we were faced with that decision when we were, 22, 23. And, Michael was still trying to, graduate college. And it was hard because a lot of, some people have more time with their loved ones, and we didn't this time around. And I think that's probably maybe what sucked the most, and in my opinion, for what I had gone through. After everything happened, services and everything, my mom always wanted me to find a career, and I did just that. She kind of became like my motivation for everything that I was doing in my life. I found a job in Boston, and then I moved down to Boston. That's something that she always wanted for me, but that's something I always wanted for myself too. And I remember the day that I moved in to my first apartment in Boston, and after my dad left, Michael left, I literally just like sat on my bed and cried because I wanted her to be there so badly, to see me there, and she just wasn't. And at first I felt really, really alone. Like I didn't have anybody to talk to that I was like comfortable with, I think. Or maybe I just didn't really want to talk to anybody about it. And then, a couple years later, I found Experience Camps. I found their website, and the second that I read what their mission was and what they were all about, I immediately applied that night, I think. And I made the decision to go by myself. I wanted this opportunity. I wanted to experience this by myself, and I didn't have any expectations, about what camp might be, or who I'd meet, I was just so happy that I was going, and I didn't really think about anything else. And the full week that I was there, it was like I made a whole new family. And I don't think like there are any words that I could say to even like thank experience camps for, you know, just being experience camps and just giving me, you know, another family that I can turn to that knows exactly what I'm feeling and know how to help and, you know, talk. And I don't know, it's just a magical place. And I think the first time that I ever publicly cried was at the paper store. It was only a couple days after my mom had died because Mother's Day was right around the corner. And I was just like walking down the aisles. I was looking for a card for something. I don't remember what, but like a super sad song came on, and I found myself just like in the Mother's Day like card section, and I like I lost it, and I had to leave the store because I was like I don't know what else to do right now. And I just like went in my car, and I think I cried for a little bit, and then once I was like okay, like I went back in the store. But it just like hits you like a ton of bricks out of nowhere. And that's kind of what I had experienced a lot for the first like couple years, was that grief just like hits you. And you know, now during this time, during the pandemic, you know, we're also losing a lot, and you know, we're losing time with loved ones, and just not being able to do normal things and have normal life is kind of like grief in itself. And you know, a lot of people who have experienced like the death of somebody close to them, I mean, it's weighing heavy on me. And at first it wasn't, but as the months kind of went on, I felt it, you know, deeper and deeper and much heavier. And I'm here to tell you that it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel this way. It's okay to talk about your grief, you know. I am encouraging somebody else to share their story if they're comfortable. If not, if you just want to message me, that's okay too. I would love to hear from you. And just know that like you're never alone. And I know that like a lot of people say, you know, I'm there and you know my messages are open, but like truly my messages are open to anybody who wants to share their story or share how they're feeling. I may not be able to completely help, but just know that, you know, I get a form of, you know, what you're feeling, and I'm here.